If you're somebody who is about to start service, who knows someone that wants to start service, or who is contemplating about serving, this video is for you. Everything I'll be saying will be particular to serving in Abuja. Let me not even say particular to serving in Abuja, because everybody has their own different like experiences and everything. So it's particular to my service in Abuja. I wrote a list of the things that I think you should know, like the tips, and this covers like the questions that a lot of you asked me concerning serving. I served in a PPA that was in line with what I wanted to do, in line with my industry, which is public health, and I was really happy that I served there. Me and my friend who served there, we always say that they spoiled us for the corporate world. Spoiled us in the sense, not that like we're not working or anything, but spoiled us in the sense that the love and the experience we gained there, you can't compare it to anything or any other place. Thankfully, I got my PPA really early. I know a lot of people are having issues getting their PPAs early. You see people not able to resume at their PPA because either they've not accepted them or they've not rejected them. NYSC showed me that people can pray to be rejected from somewhere. I've never really heard people praying that, God please, I want to be rejected from this place, God please let them send me rejection letter. People were praying for rejection for so many reasons. Either the distance was too far, they weren't going to pay well, or the energy or vibe they were getting off from people there could have been mean or not the best. That's why some people would have prayed for rejection. The way I even got my PPA, it's a testimony on its own, but God did it for me. Your PPA is basically like what takes most of your time during your NYSC, because you're expected to resume there Monday to Friday and whatever time they have there. If anyone is talking to you, tell them you're looking for PPA, because it's better to go to somewhere where there's word of mouth, where somebody has been there and like they know what goes on there and they know maybe how the pay is or how the environment is. I'm not saying look desperate or whatever, but like let people know that you are looking for a job. That was how I got my PPA. I literally went to my friend's house one random day, and the PPA that I wanted to work in, they posted me there, and I was trying to get it. They were taking their time to respond to me, and you know how gut-wrenching that thing could be, because you don't want to get into your PPA late. You don't want them to post to somewhere else you do not know. So I randomly blurted out my problems, my woes to this person's dad, and he just helped me. If you're not mobile in Abuja, sorry for you. Like NYSC actually opened my eyes to a lot of things, not just about work. NYSC showed me that transportation system in Abuja is like shitty, pardon my French, but it is shitty, because I hardly go out. Whenever I'm going out, I probably use a Bolt or I'll use an Uber to get to wherever I am going to, because it's not that frequent. But by the time you start NYSC and you realize that you have to be somewhere every day of the week, you know that Bolt is not an option, and then you'll know that transportation system in Abuja is rubbish. And I'm taking rubbish because you hardly find public transportation that you could join if you're not in like the really busy and bustling places of Abuja. Imagine doing that every day, Monday to Friday, morning and night, trying to get to your place of work. And honestly, it wasn't the best experience. At first, I did not know what I was doing. I was using boats all the time at the beginning, but God did it in a way that I eventually got help. Like I had colleagues that were living around my area that I'll be able to follow in the mornings and follow back in the evenings. Transportation wasn't too hard for me. Not everyone is like you. That's one thing I've learned in this whole professional world. Not everybody, not even professional, relationship wise, so many things. Not everyone thinks like you. Not everybody will react the way you do. Not everyone has the standards you use. You have to understand that anything you're going to do, you're going to work with difficult people. And I might have encountered one or two people when I was serving, and there's only one that comes to mind that I encountered, and not many people knew, because I was able to resolve that very quickly. I cannot disclose how much exactly I got paid as my salary. We all know how much NYSC was paying, 33,000 naira. I'll give you a hint. I worked in a government organization. So you try and think how much the government would pay me. It wasn't much, to be honest. And I think here in Abuja, the most I heard people getting paid was 70,000 naira. That was like the highest I heard anybody got paid as a core member serving in Abuja. It was later when I realized that that even differs. So I thought that was like the baseline. Like if you're saying, oh, you got a really good PPA, you'll be getting paid like 70k. I come to find out that people were getting paid 130, 150k in other states. We know the states we are talking about. I have no beef with them, but yeah, people were getting paid 130k, 150k, which was almost double what was being paid to most high-paying NYSC offices in Abuja. The states location of your PPA really matters as well. In other states, they were even paying them less than what they were paying. A lot of places don't rate you as a core member, so just get that into your head right now. They don't rate us as core, not us, you as a core member, because they just believe like this is your first time working. They believe they are helping you by developing you professionally, so they are doing more of the work than you doing the work, which in most cases is not necessarily the truth, but well, that's their justification for paying a lot of people what they are paying them. They were even feeding some people in their PPAs, so let me even let you people know that in that other states. I don't have anything against that state, it's just that by the time I hear the things that people were getting paid there and they were complaining about, and I'm like comparing them to Abuja, I'm like, you don't have any reason to complain, my dear. Yes, I was able to save, but at the end of the day, that money started saving me. No, I started saving October 2022 and I finished saving October 2023. If you know what happened between that 1 year, you will know that we had a new president, and on the day he was sworn in, things skyrocketed, like by his presence alone in the Nigerian economy. So when things went up, my saving plans definitely changed. I wasn't able to save as much as I would have loved to save. Before you say, okay, I can save like half of my salary, I want to even save all my salary, it was not possible anymore. Things were changing, your salary wasn't. So now they're saying they want to increase it to 77k, which I think is better. A day in the week you wouldn't go to work, your PPE, rather you will go to your CDS. The questions I was getting concerning that was if it was necessary, and in my opinion, my humble opinion, I don't think it was necessary, but I understand why they were doing that. So they were doing that basically to check if you were still available where you were posted for your service, and basically to just follow up with you to know if everything was going okay. So some CDSs will actually do some community development, like my CDS, we actually went into the community and did some things once or twice. Aside that, I didn't see the need for that. I didn't see the need for, because at the end of the day, people were still not going for CDS, and so you are still not monitoring if people were at their CDS or they were in the states they posted them to. Everything is a phase. It didn't take love, and you'll be done with it. So for me, I believe in sticking with it till you're done with it. I believe I'm in that situation for a reason. Concerning everything related to NYSC, for me, it happened in a way that I wouldn't have expected, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful for it because so many good things happened or came right after. So when it comes to NYSC, there might be so many negative things happening, but as far as your mindset is at a good place, as far as your mind is at a good place, your heart is at a good place, things will turn out well for you. Always see the good wherever you are. It might be the worst of the ghettos, my dear, but try and see the good in wherever you are. That is something I've been learning to do ever since I think 2020. The more you put out good energy, the more you put out good thoughts, good proclamations, good affirmations, the more good things come to you. So then form good relationships. I thank NYSC for it, because I think that's the best thing that came out of my whole NYSC experience. The relationships I formed, the relationship I formed with my bosses, the relationship I formed with colleagues, the people that were there before me, the relationships I formed with my fellow NYSC core members. Like, NYSC literally gave me some of the best people. One of my best friends, if you're following me on Instagram, you know, Tosin, she came from NYSC. Like, I didn't think that I would go into NYSC and have somebody as close as that to me. My bosses, who would have given me really good referrals for the current job I am in, were just too many good people there. I don't want to start mentioning names. I know you might be shy, but you just carry that shyness and keep it to one side, because you have to put yourself out there to get things to come to you. So I made a point of duty that activities I went for, I was relating to people there, I spoke to them, you know, just get to know them, get to know what the organization is about, get to know what they do. Always network. Anywhere you find yourself, network. Have your elevator pitch ready. This is something I learned about when during my CDS. So CDS might not have been in waste totally, but I learned about knowing how to introduce yourself in a very short time, knowing how to say what you do in a very short time. I believe it should be more voluntary than compulsory, because people will know what they are getting into and they realize that, oh, they chose to do this and they can stay there. Not that I have to do it, and you're saying that to compensate me for my efforts and my work, you'll be paying me 33,000 naira. In that 33,000 naira, you feed yourself. In that 33,000 naira, you transport yourself. In that 33,000 naira, some people would house themselves. In that 33,000 naira, you clothe yourself. that is 50,000 naira cannot do much. It cannot even do anything in this economy. So I feel like you should make it voluntary. If people want to do it, let them do it. If they should increase the pay, they have already increased it. I feel like they can do better, because that's on 7k is good, but there's just so much on 7k can do, because in a year, how do you want to raise up your rents if we're starting there? Thankfully I lived with family, so it wasn't difficult. That was not a worry for me. But those who don't, how would they go about it? How would they do that? And then I believe you should be able to choose what state or what industry you like to serve in. People were getting posted to ridiculous places that had insecurity, places that had nothing to do with what they learned in school, just ridiculous places all in all. And for me, that didn't make sense, because if you're posting me somewhere and you're trying to develop me professionally, at least post me to somewhere that is in line with what I studied. Would I recommend NYSC? I'll say it's 50-50. 50% because you get a chance to learn, network, push yourself out there, get experience. You know, when you come out, everybody's like, they want experience. That is an experience for you, because you're working as a staff, you're working in an organization, a professional organization. So yes, I believe it helps. And then I believe it should not be compulsory, make it voluntary, because whether or not I'm complaining that 33k is not a lot, to some people it is. So it would help, but let it be that people are choosing to do it, not that you're making them do it and you're not taking care of them sufficiently. Those are my tips, my points, my experiences as a core member 7 in Abuja, Nigeria. So if you have any comments, if you have anything to add, any advice to give, drop it in the comment section. And we're done for today. We're done with the video for today. See you in the next one. Bye.